Hello everyone. Today I'd like to take you on my virgin playthrough of Pathways. I've heard about this game on the internet recently. It's been designed by Prevent. Prevent are a British counter-terrorism organisation. And they were actually set up about 20 years ago now, in the aftermath of the 7/7 bombings. Muslim terrorists blew up a bus in London, and it was kind of just fine to try and find a way to actually, prevent young Muslims in particular from being radicalized and doing stuff like that. But increasingly, especially since the Arab Spring in the early 2010s, we've had increasing immigration from the Middle East and Africa in particular, like asylum seekers specifically. And this has contributed to a rise in the right, even the far right. I've talked about this in previous videos. I was actually a part of that. I have actually believed, actual far right opinions before. Like I was pretty much a neo-Nazi. So it's not like there's nothing to it. But it is interesting that at this point, it's now 2026, and Prevent now mainly focuses on far-right extremism, and not so much on the Islamic extremism side of things. And it seems like this game has been designed as a way to, target especially young, white, British young folk, to try and steer them away from, far right, but I mean, I don't know exactly what their definition of far right is, because these days, actually, it seems like the definition of what constitutes far right is quite a low bar. There's quite a lot of, there's an increasing amount of things that are included in far right. So, I'm interested to see what this game's actually like. Being an older person, I suppose, I actually remember. Well, I don't literally remember, but I would have seen the 7/7 stuff on TV, for example, as a kid. So, yeah. Without further ado, let's go. Okay.
In this game, you will be presented with scenarios that require you to take action, like hearing something hateful while gaming or watching a provocative video on social media.
I can see this game was developed in the north, in Yorkshire, which I do have a comment to make on that, to be quite honest. It's interesting how it's been like East Riding and Hull City, because particularly in parts of, I think, West and South Yorkshire and bits of Lancashire as well, there's actually quite a lot of segregation between the local white communities and the Muslim ones. It's to a degree that you don't really see actually quite as much in other parts of the country. And, compared to places like London, where, for example, it is very multicultural. Like, there's lots of different people. Yeah, there's Muslims, but there's also, black people from the Caribbean, other black people from Africa. There's people from parts of Asia and so on, and other parts of Europe, and all that. But in a lot of these ex-industrial towns in the southern part of northern England, there's just lots of Muslims in these communities, and for a long time actually they've been quite segregated from the locals, because they're just very culturally different from each other, and the phenomenon of white flight has taken place, where you just get a lot of Muslims move in, and the local white people don't really want to live around them, because they don't feel like they've got much in common with them, so they just move away, and then that increases the effect of just having these kind of Muslim enclaves, really. So anyway, so I just find it interesting that this game's been developed in Yorkshire in particular because of that.
From the 3 alternative options presented, you will use your mouse to select one based on the information given and what outcome you think this will have.
Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention was that I've heard that there's a couple of ways to play this game. the goal of the game obviously is to be a good boy. Some people have inverted that and, played as a bad boy. My approach today is just going to be to play it in a fairly straight way, like just sort of with my own personal political opinions and stuff, and just reacting to whatever the game throws at me in the way that I would, I suppose. So, yeah, hopefully that'll be entertaining. I really hope the game isn't shit, but let's see what it's like.
The choices you make will determine the route your character takes. Remember to be aware of getting trapped in risky or harmful situations, as the different choices can lead to situations involving extremism and radicalisation, damaging the outcome for your character.
Okay. Choose which character. Well, I'm a man, so I'm gonna go with the man. Okay.
Charlie was enjoying an online game with friends. Charlie had not long started attending a new college in East Riding, and they were so relieved to have made new friends having recently left school. Charlie has started browsing new games and websites that some of the new friends use. Sometimes, though, the people on these websites say things that seem off, even slightly concerning.
So the clown thing there. I don't know. I could see some of my mates use that in a group chat that I'm on. Let's see.
Someone on this website has encouraged Charlie to download a video, but Charlie is unsure. How should Charlie react?
How should... I don't know, like... Talk to the stranger... Yeah, actually, that's a good idea, yeah.
How should Charlie react? Charlie questioned the stranger, asking what the video was about.
Yeah, that's very sensible, yeah.
Charlie felt uneasy when the stranger explained that if Charlie cared about the country, they would download the video and share it with as many people as possible.
Okay.
Charlie wasn't sure what to say and didn't contribute anything more to the discussion, instead feeling that perhaps they had missed something on the topic. Luckily, Charlie trusted their instinct and didn't download or share the video.
I mean, yeah, if it's just some rando and they're like, oh yeah, download this video or something like that, it's like, and they don't tell you what it is, they're just like, oh, it's for the country, then it's like, or for anything. Why would you do that? No, I suppose that's probably a good idea to encourage young people, like, not to just, download like just videos that just randos just send them, and don't give a proper explanation for. So
It's important to remember that downloading or streaming certain content can lead to a terrorist offence conviction.
I mean, I would have thought it would. Okay. I mean, I would have been concerned that it was more like CP. I'm not going to say like what that stands for, but you know what I mean? Like, I'd be more concerned about that than, I mean, yeah, sure, terrorism. I don't know what it is because I didn't click on it. I didn't agree to just download it, so, okay. I don't think this game's going to be very long.
Charlie is receiving an important grade on a piece of work they submitted for their hospitality course at college. Charlie put in a lot of effort for this work and is excited to receive good feedback. Charlie takes a seat in class and waits to get their grade. To their disappointment, Charlie doesn't do as well as they expect. They got 60 out of 100 for their work, but they wanted at least 75 out of 100.
Kind of arbitrary, but okay.
To make matters worse, somebody else got 80 out of 100, and the teacher said that this person has received a job offer. Charlie has applied to dozens of jobs, but hasn't had any luck yet. Somebody else in the class tells Charlie that this is proof that immigrants are coming to the UK and taking our jobs.
This is the bit that I've heard about, is like this particular character here. They took your job. Okay, right. Okay. So this is an interesting one because it's like, okay, so in this particular scenario, it's pretty clear and pretty straightforward, I suppose. It's like, okay, so this brown-skinned woman, who's an immigrant, I guess, has performed better than the local white boy. And I guess she's being offered a job. Now, I don't know whether this person is actually an immigrant or whether they're the children of immigrants, but I suppose an issue with immigrants coming is that they do compete with the locals for jobs, so it does make it harder to get jobs a lot of the time, just because you have more people to compete with. Yeah, so how would I react? Do I agree? What would I actually do if I was in this situation? Like with the beliefs that I have now, and I have this girl sitting next to me is like, they took your job. Ignore comment. It'd be like, nah. I forgot what the comment was. Shit. God, I can't go back now. Shit. Okay. That's a good question. Do I even want a job? That's another problem as well. Is like, I probably wouldn't be in the position anyway, so... But okay, let's brainstorm. So say I am in the position of, let's say I was like 15 years younger or something like that. And I'm in this position and it's like, okay, I have the beliefs that I have now, but I'm in this kind of situation. I mean, I've probably come to the beliefs that I have based on my experience as a 33-year-old, but... Ignore comment... well, no, I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna. Nah, no. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. This is a problem with multiple choice questions, of course, because it's like you either ignore it or agree with it. Where's the in between one where you're kind of like, well, I don't know if I agree with what you're saying, but I'm not going to ignore it. I'm gonna ask like, well, why do you think that? But I don't get that option here, so it's a bit shite. Okay, I'm gonna agree with it.
Charlie approached the classmate angrily. He agreed with the ideas.
Wait, what the fuck?
And began shouting about them in class.
What the hell? Wouldn't do that. What the fuck? That escalated quickly.
The teacher let Charlie know that the school has a zero tolerance on hate speech.
Well, I mean, like, to be fair, I mean, if you just started fucking shouting shit like that, you know, he deserves to be told off, like...
The teacher was concerned by Charlie's outburst and tried to get to the bottom of it. Charlie became more agitated and ended up having to sit alone for the duration of the week's lessons because of the hurtful things they said.
I suppose he's quite emotional. Okay, this is the next one.
Charlie has been chilling out all afternoon.
Okay.
They've been scrolling on social media. They spot a video that seems to be getting a lot of attention. Charlie watches the video and learns from the video that Muslim men are stealing the places of British war veterans in emergency accommodation.
Well, apparently that's happening, so...
In the video, they explain that the government is betraying white British people and we need to take back control of our country.
I agree with the first part. The second part, that's a solution presented. I think there are other ways of solving this problem, but, you know. I'll find more about it online. Yeah, exactly. It's like, why not?
Charlie wasn't sure if this video was true.
Yep.
But the recent other encounters made them curious. Charlie went directly to the account's website and found research papers, statistics, information about protests and more regarding the replacement of white people. They continued browsing and encountered lots of harmful groups who agree with these sentiments. Charlie began intaking a lot of harmful ideological messages. In fact, some of the groups were actually illegal.
There's like probably national action and stuff like that. Honeypot.
Charlie has been enjoying a family dinner at home when they receive a notification from their friend.
Okay.
Charlie's mum makes a comment about using ferns at the dinner table, but Charlie checks in anyway.
Okay.
Amelia, Charlie's close friend, has made a video encouraging young people in Bridlington to join a political group that seeks to defend English rights. Amelia encourages Charlie to join a secret group on an app Charlie hasn't heard of before. Charlie isn't sure whether to join, explore further, or ignore.
Yeah, I think that's quite reasonable. Yeah, show support, but don't join the secret group, because that can be pretty dodgy. Yeah.
Charlie settled for a middle ground.
Oh, God.
They didn't want their friend to think they didn't care, but they didn't know if they wanted to join the group.
Yeah.
They decided to like the post quickly and continued to eat their dinner. During the night, Charlie received a message from a stranger who saw that they had liked the post. Before they knew it, Charlie had been added to an encrypted private group without Charlie's permission.
It's a bit wide.
Charlie was seeing their dad at the weekend. He lives in Hull, so their weekends look very different to their weekdays in East Riding. Charlie's friend Amelia immediately looked interested and told them about a protest she wished she could go to herself, but was not allowed. Amelia spoke of a gathering that had been organised by a small political group. They would come together and protest the changes that Britain has been through in the last few years and the erosion of British values. Amelia talked about the banners and the pickets that her friends had made for the events and expressed a real regret that she could not go, begging Charlie to go in her place. Charlie has nothing to do this weekend, and a protest sounded like an interesting thing to take part in.
Yep. Tell your friend you will watch them. Tell your friend you will watch from the sidelines and let them know what happens. And okay. So what do I do? It's a bit kind of, again, it's very vague. That's the problem, I think, with the... It's all very vague. Tell your friend you will watch from the sidelines and let them know what happens. Or agree to join in. Yeah, I'd probably do that. Look at me, big brain centrist.
Charlie went to the protest in the end. It wasn't what they expected.
Oh.
They noticed the protest seemed to be more about racism and anti-immigration than British values and honouring fallen veterans.
Yeah, it does happen.
Charlie grew increasingly uncomfortable as the crowd became angrier. Police arrived after a few violent outbreaks. Before they knew it, they were running away from the scene. Some protesters next to Charlie had drawn the attention of the police. Charlie had only been here to observe, but the line between observing and participating was too easy to cross.
Oh, there's more.
Charlie thought about all the difficult choices they had needed to make in the last few weeks. Some of their choices had led to changes in friendship, and Charlie was feeling low, as they weren't sure if they had made the right decisions. The teacher had noticed this and decided to reach out. The teacher sat with them and talked openly and frankly about the ideology that Charlie had discovered. The teacher reassured that Charlie had made the right decisions. Charlie realised that if they had chosen to engage with these harmful ideas, the consequences would have been very different.
I've been a good boy, I guess. Click to find out what support if you'd chosen to engage with...
Charlie accepted they may need support.
What? Wait, I didn't get any other option. What the hell?
Charlie's teacher made a prevent referral.
Oh, fuck off.
And they were able to provide tailored support for Charlie. They began a workshop that help them learn how to engage positively with ideology and the differences between right and wrong in expressing political beliefs. Charlie received counselling to help them process the other events in their life, and they felt much better for it.
Okay.
It was decided that Charlie was at borderline risk of radicalisation,
Oh, Jesus.
given their proximity to it.
Right, okay.
Charlie engaged in various activities through Prevent, such as family counselling sessions, which helped address some of the issues at the heart of being influenced by harmful ideologies. They started taking up new skills and hobbies, and made new friends. They also started receiving extra support at college to ensure they had someone to talk to openly about ideological thoughts.
Okay.
What is Prevent? Prevent is a referral programme operated by the Home Office in partnership with local services. It was set up in 2003 as part of legislation responding to the 9/11 terror attack in the
9/11,
USA.
not 7/7.
The overarching aim of Prevent is to stop violent extremism from happening within our communities. Prevent works on the basis that any ideology can be harmful, and therefore anyone can be at risk of becoming radicalised. The programme seeks to identify cases of extremism before any violent acts are committed, and it does so by addressing difficulties vulnerable individuals may be experiencing and helping them overcome it. Why is Prevent important? Prevent is an important part of the UK's counter-terrorism strategy because it seeks to tackle extremist behaviour as it emerges, instead of after an attack.
Pre-crime.
It acknowledges that underlying issues and vulnerabilities play a role in extreme ideas and behaviours, and wants to reduce the effects that push someone into extremism. It's important because Prevent doesn't seek to punish people who have fallen victim to radicalisation. It aims to reduce the risk of violence and enable vulnerable people to live a life without hate or violence. Who does Prevent support?
Oh, God.
Though it is rare, Prevent understands that any ideology has the potential to harm others if the right conditions are met. Prevent does not target any specific demographic, community or ideology, and the support they offer is available to anyone who may be motivated by an ideology to behave in an extreme manner.
Not sure if I believe that.
This means that anyone can be
completely
referred
honest.
to Prevent to receive their support. What is the process, and how does Prevent work? Prevent will only come into contact with someone if they receive a referral, either from them directly or from someone who has concerns. Referrals can come from a variety of places, such as parents, other family members or friends, teachers, and health or social workers. Anyone can make a referral if they have concerns about radicalisation. The referral asks the person filling the form to include details about the individual's behaviour, beliefs, and other contextual factors that might make them vulnerable. The referral is then reviewed by a panel of experts from different fields to discuss if the person is at risk or not, and what kind of support would be most appropriate. Most referrals are not followed up by Prevent if support from other organisations is more appropriate.
So Byzantine.
On the occasions where Prevent does take on a referral, the information is passed to Channel. Channels are the specialists in supplying support that is specific to radicalisation and ideologies. They work with the individual to reduce the risk of harm to that person and wider society. They take a multi-agency approach to providing support, so support could involve mentors, interactions with people who left harmful ideologies, family support, financial and housing support, counselling or therapy sessions, religious support, and more. Receiving support from Prevent or Channel does not appear on a criminal record. Any involvement is always confidential and voluntary. Involvement with Prevent seeks to lead people away from behaviours that are against the law before they engage. It is designed not only to keep communities safe and peaceful, but to enable the individual at risk to live a fulfilling life without the risk of fines, arrests, or prison sentences, which may arise from extreme behaviours.
That's it then. Is it gonna... Right, okay. It's... Okay. Okay. Right. Okay, that's it finished. that was rubbish. So disappointed. Right, I mean, basically, like, so I didn't do too badly. I got deemed as, oh, you're kind of borderline at risk. Okay, well, maybe you should talk to somebody, kind of thing. And it's like, I think, like, I get the intent here. I like, to be fair, I'm not a big fan of a lot of this kind of upsurge in British nationalism that I see, because, well, quite frankly, a lot of Zionists are behind it. I don't trust Zionists, because when you think about what Zionism is actually about, it's about what's best for the Jews. So, if people that are doing what's best for the Jews, people like Tommy Robinson, to get, you know, like, white British young people to, like, get angry about the immigration from the Muslim world, like, that's, I think there's an inherent conflict of interest there. The problem is, like, me just saying that is this kind of thing that might potentially get me, like, if somebody in an official capacity heard me saying that, they would probably refer me to Prevent, you know. So that's the problem. It's like, I mean, that's just how I see things. You can feel free to disagree with me, but I that's the conclusion that I've come to based on, you know, just my own research and stuff like that. I mean, as you can see, like, I wasn't being a bad boy, like, just for the sake of it, like, just to be contrarian or whatever. To be fair, it's like, yeah, no, I think having that, like, middle ground available where it's like, you're not just, like, being a good boy, but you're also not, like, just running head first into Zionist controlled opposition, like, activism, is probably good to encourage young people to do. But at the same time, they're like, oh yeah, like, well, you're maybe, like, you're still engaging a bit too much with these kind of ideas, so we're just going to send you to talk to people who are just going to try and, like, convince you to think a certain way about things, and just keep doing that until you think about things in the correct way. So yeah, it is a wee bit insidious, I have to say. It's not completely dreadful. I don't particularly recommend this game. It was more of a lecture than a game, to be quite honest. So, like, yeah, I mean, I should have expected that from something designed by the government, but yeah, what have you. So yeah, yeah. Let me know your thoughts on if you've played this game, or any comments on, like, the choices that I made, or, you know, any of the issues that I've brought up with this kind of thing. Yeah, thanks for watching.